As we age, our bodies slow down, offering older Americans rest mixed with health worries. Diabetes, a silent threat, strikes over 25% of those 65 plus, per the American Diabetes Association. Nighttime pee breaks, thirst, restless legs, just aging, or a red flag. Uncover 9 subtle nighttime signs to safeguard the independent life you cherish, from Midwest farms to Florida's sunny shores. For many older Americans, a trip or two to the bathroom at night feels as routine as setting the alarm clock back in their working days. Maybe it's that extra cup of decaf at the senior center's afternoon card game, or a tall glass of lemonade with dinner, a staple in southern homes from Texas to the Carolinas. But if you're shuffling down the hall 3, 4, or even 5 times before sunrise, it's more than just a quirky habit. This could be a silent scream from your body that diabetes is at play, and it's a sign that hits seniors hard in the quiet of the night. When blood sugar climbs too high, the kidneys kick into overdrive, filtering out the excess glucose and sending it packing through urine. That means your bladder fills up faster than a rain barrel in a Midwest storm, pulling you out of bed again and again. For seniors living alone, whether in a cozy Nebraska farmhouse or a Florida condo, this isn't just inconvenient, it's risky. The National Council on Aging warns that falls are the leading cause of injury for those over 65, and stumbling to the bathroom in the dark ups that danger. Add in creaky joints or a touch of arthritis, and you've got a recipe for trouble. Take Ed, a 74-year-old retiree from Ohio. He figured his nightly bathroom runs were just part of getting older, maybe tied to that prostate check he'd been putting off. But when he started feeling wiped out during his morning walks with the dog, his daughter pushed him to see the doc. A quick blood test showed his sugar levels were sky high. For older Americans like Ed, this sign can sneak under the radar, masked as an aging bladder or a side effect of meds like diuretics, common for heart conditions in the U.S. What can you do? Start by keeping a little notebook by the bed. Jot down how often you're up and if you're feeling thirsty or tired too. If it's more than a couple times a night, especially with other signs on this list, call your doctor. Many U.S. seniors have Medicare, which covers basic glucose tests, so it's an easy check. Meanwhile, cut back on evening fluids. Skip that late glass of sweet tea and see if it helps. Catching this early could keep you steady on your feet and sleeping sounder. Imagine this. You're settled into your favorite spot, maybe a worn-in recliner in a Michigan living room or a rocking chair on a Tennessee porch. Winding down with a glass of water by your side. You've had your fill during the day, sipping iced tea at the church potluck or water during a hot afternoon tending roses. But come midnight, you're wide awake, throat so dry it feels like you've been chewing on cotton balls. For older Americans, this nighttime thirst can seem like a small nuisance. Maybe the furnace is drying out the air, or it's a leftover from that salty meatloaf. But if it's a regular visitor, diabetes might be knocking. High blood sugar acts like a sponge, soaking up moisture from your tissues to flush out the excess glucose through urine. That leaves you dehydrated, even if you're diligent about staying hydrated, a habit many seniors pick up after years of doctor's advice. In the U.S., and where older adults often live independently or in assisted living, dehydration hits harder. The CDC notes that seniors are at higher risk for it, and diabetes only amps up the stakes, potentially leading to dizziness or confusion. Scary stuff if you're getting up in the dark. Consider Martha, an 81-year-old widow in Oregon. She kept a water bottle by her bed, a trick she learned from her nursing days, but still woke up parched every night. She blamed the dry Pacific Northwest winters until her annual checkup showed prediabetes. For seniors, this thirst can pair with other culprits, like blood pressure pills or antihistamines, but when it's relentless, it's a clue. It's not just about comfort. Chronic dehydration can strain the kidneys, a worry for aging bodies already juggling health issues. Try this. Sip water throughout the day, but taper off after dinner. Stick to a small glass instead of a big tumbler. If you're still waking up thirsty, or if your mouth feels sticky and dry too, mention it at your next VA appointment or clinic visit. U.S. healthcare often includes dietitians who can tweak your meal plan. Maybe swap that evening cookie for a sugar-free option. Staying ahead of this sign keeps you hydrated and healthy for those grandkid visits or bingo nights. Waking up with a mouth so dry it's like you've been sucking on a sponge, or tasting something bitter, like yesterday's coffee gone stale, can throw a wrench in any senior's morning. Maybe you're brewing a pot in your Texas kitchen, ready to tackle the day, or grabbing a muffin at the community breakfast in a New York retirement home. For older Americans, this might feel like a minor glitch, perhaps a side effect of the statins or arthritis meds stacked on the bathroom counter. But if it's a nightly ritual, especially with thirst or bathroom trips, diabetes could be the silent saboteur. Elevated blood sugar saps saliva production, leaving your mouth parched and prone to odd tastes. In seniors, this hits different. Years of wear and tear plus common U.S. prescriptions, think blood thinners or antidepressants, already dry things out. The American Dental Association warns that dry mouth ups the risk of cavities and gum disease, a big deal when you're trying to keep your natural teeth for that perfect smile at the family reunion. Left unchecked, it can even make swallowing tough. Imagine struggling with your morning oatmeal or a bite of apple pie. Take Jim, a 69-year-old from Colorado. He'd wake up with a bitter taste, figuring it was from the spicy chili he loved at the local diner. But when his dentist flagged gum issues and his wife noticed his constant water sipping, a blood test confirmed diabetes. For seniors, this sign can slip by, blamed on age or diet, but it's a puzzle piece worth fitting into the bigger picture. Here's a fix. Keep a sugar-free mint or lozenge by the bed, something to kickstart saliva without spiking sugar. Rinse with water if you wake up dry, and check your meds with your pharmacist. Many Walgreens or CVS locations offer free consults for seniors. If it lingers, pair it with other symptoms and ask your doc for a glucose check. Keeping your mouth happy keeps you enjoying those home-cooked meals or chats with friends. Picture yourself snug in flannel pajamas, maybe under a quilt your grandma stitched decades ago, drifting off in your Arizona condo or Iowa farmhouse. Then, out of nowhere, you're soaked, sweat dripping down your neck, sheets clinging like you've run a marathon. For older Americans, night sweats might feel like a fluke. Blame the thermostat, a spicy supper, or those hot flashes from years past. But if it's happening more nights than not, diabetes could be turning your sleep into a sauna. Low blood sugar at night, hypoglycemia, triggers this damp drama. When glucose dips, your body sounds the alarm with adrenaline, making you sweat, shake, or even wake up in a panic. For seniors, this might strike after a light dinner, say a bowl of soup instead of the usual meat and potatoes. Or if diabetes meds aren't timed right with meals. In the U.S., where polypharmacy, juggling multiple prescriptions, is common, this balance gets tricky. The National Institutes of Health notes that seniors on insulin or certain pills are especially prone, and a sweaty night can leave you groggy for that morning stretch class or church service. Think of Betty, a 76-year-old from Florida. She'd wake up drenched, assuming it was the humid Gulf air, even with the AC cranked. Her doctor linked it to skipping snacks before bed, a habit she'd picked up to shed a few pounds. For older adults, night sweats aren't just a laundry hassle. They can signal a drop that risks confusion or falls, a top worry in retirement communities. Try keeping a small snack handy, crackers or a slice of cheese, something light to steady your sugar. If you're on meds, ask your doctor or pharmacist. Many U.S. chains like Rite Aid offer free reviews to tweak the timing. Jot down when the sweats hit and what you ate. It's ammo for your next visit. Staying dry means staying safe and rested. You've had a solid dinner, maybe meatloaf and green beans, a classic in Midwest kitchens, or a plate of fried catfish if you're down south. You're settled in, maybe watching Jeopardy, reruns, or flipping through a photo album, ready for a good night's sleep. But at 2 a.m., your stomach's growling like you haven't eaten in days. For older Americans, this sudden hunger might spark a trip to the fridge, grabbing a slice of pie or a peanut butter sandwich. If it's a one-off, no harm done, but if it's a nightly raid, diabetes might be behind the munchies. When the body can't use insulin right, sugar stays in the blood instead of fueling your cells, leaving you starving even after a hearty meal. For seniors, this can feel baffling. After all, you're not running around like in your factory days or chasing toddlers. It might hit after a lighter day. Maybe you skip lunch at the senior center to save room for supper. In the U.S., and where portion sizes can swing big, think all-you-can-eat buffets. This hunger can throw off routines, waking you up and tempting you with late-night calories that only make sugar spikes worse. Look at Tom, a 71-year-old from Kansas. He'd wake up ravenous, sneaking cookies his wife baked for the grandkids, figuring it was just old age catching up. But when he started dropping weight despite the snacks, his doc found diabetes. For seniors, this isn't just about willpower. It can sap energy for daily joys like fishing or card games with buddies. Keep a log. When do the pangs hit, and what did you eat? Try a bedtime snack with protein, like a handful of almonds, to smooth out sugar levels. If it's relentless, especially with fatigue or thirst, your doctor can run a test. Many U.S. clinics offer walk-in screenings. Managing this keeps you fueled without derailing your health. You've had a decent day, maybe a morning at the community garden in Oregon, or an afternoon flipping through old vinyl records at a Texas flea market. By 9 p.m., you're tucked into bed, expecting to wake up ready for your coffee and the daily paper. But instead, you're dragging yourself out of the sheets, feeling like you've pulled an all-nighter at the VFW dance hall back in the 70s. For older Americans, tiredness often gets a free pass. Maybe it's the grandkids wearing you out, or just the years piling on. But if you're wiped out every morning despite a solid 8 hours, diabetes might be sapping your spark. High blood sugar gums up the works, stopping your body from turning glucose into the energy you need. It's like filling up your old Chevy with gas but forgetting to tune the engine. Everything's there, but it's not running right. For seniors, this can pile on top of other nighttime disruptions, bathroom trips, or leg cramps, leaving you running on fumes. In the U.S., where many older adults stay active with golf, volunteering, or part-time gigs at the hardware store, this fatigue can cramp your style, making it tough to keep up with the things you love. Take Clara, an 80-year-old from Wisconsin. She'd sleep through the night, or so she thought, but still felt like a zombie at her knitting circle. She blamed it on winter blues until her doctor linked it to high blood sugar. For seniors, this isn't just about feeling off. It can signal bigger risks, like heart strain, a top concern in the U.S. where heart disease looms large. Try this. Track your sleep with a little notepad. How long, how often you wake, how you feel. If it's more than just age, especially with thirst or hunger, get a glucose check. Medicare often covers it. Sip water, not soda, before bed, and keep meals balanced with veggies and protein. Staying energized keeps you in the game for those golden years. You're cozied up under a blanket, maybe in a Montana cabin with the fireplace crackling, or a suburban Philly split level with the grandkids' photos on the wall. Then, out of the blue, a cramp grabs your calf like a vice, or a deep ache throbs down your leg, yanking you from sleep. For older Americans, leg pain might feel like an old friend. Decades of standing at factory lines, teaching classrooms, or hiking trails can leave their mark. But if it's a nightly intruder, diabetes could be stirring up trouble below the belt. This comes down to peripheral neuropathy, nerve damage from high blood sugar that's a hallmark of diabetes, hitting seniors harder as nerves wear with age. It scrambles the signals from your brain to your legs, sparking cramps, burning, or sharp jabs. In the U.S., where seniors prize mobility, whether it's strolling the boardwalk in New Jersey or tending a backyard in Oklahoma, this can be a game changer. A cramp might mean skipping the morning walk with your buddies or wincing through a grandkid's recital, chipping away at independence. Consider Hank, a 73-year-old from Nevada. He'd wake up with leg cramps, figuring it was from his old football days, until his podiatrist tied it to diabetes after noticing slow-healing sores. For older adults, this isn't just pain, it's a fall risk, especially if you're fumbling for the light switch in the dark. The CDC flags falls as a top injury cause for seniors, and diabetes only ups the ante. What to do? Stretch gently before bed. Think calf raises by the sink while brushing your teeth. If it's more than occasional, especially with tingling or fatigue, ask your doctor for a nerve check alongside a sugar test. Many U.S. clinics offer neuropathy screenings, often covered by insurance. Keeping those legs steady keeps you moving, whether it's dancing at the senior prom or chasing the dog. You're drifting off, maybe after a night of pinochle with neighbors in a Colorado condo, or reading the Bible in your Alabama rocking chair. Then you wake up to a weird buzz, like your hands or feet are tingling from sitting too long in the pew at church. Or maybe it's a numbness, making it tricky to grab your glasses off the nightstand. For older Americans, this might feel like a passing oddity, something to shake out before brewing coffee. But if it's a regular nighttime guest, diabetes could be fraying your nerves. This is another neuropathy trick. High blood sugar chewing away at nerve endings, especially in the hands and feet where circulation slows with age. For seniors, it's a double whammy. Years of wear plus diabetes can turn a tingle into a warning. In the US, where older adults lean on their hands for everything, knitting scarves for charity, casting a fishing line, or driving to the grocery, this can quietly steal freedom. Numbness might mean dropping a mug of tea or misstepping on the stairs, risks that hit hard in retirement. Look at Rose, a 77-year-old from Maine. She'd wake up with pins and needles, blaming it on cold winters, until her doctor caught diabetes after she mentioned blurry vision too. For seniors, this isn't just quirky. It can signal bigger trouble, like wounds that won't heal, a worry when you're gardening or walking barefoot on a Carolina beach. Try keeping your hands and feet warm with socks or gloves. Cotton ones from Walmart work fine. If it's more than occasional, especially with pain or thirst, get it checked. US docs often pair nerve tests with blood sugar screens. Jot down when it hits and how it feels. It's gold for your next visit. Keeping sensation sharp keeps you crafting, cooking, and cruising through life. Sleep's supposed to be a gentle drift. Maybe you're dreaming of that Route 66 road trip from your 60s or a lazy day fishing on a Minnesota lake. But lately, your nights are a wild ride. Vivid dreams so real you wake up checking for the car keys, or nightmares that leave you staring at the ceiling. For older Americans, this might feel like a fluke. Too much late-night TV or that spicy gumbo from the Cajun Festival. But if it's a pattern, diabetes might be hijacking your dreamland. Blood sugar swings at night can throw your brain for a loop. Low levels, hypoglycemia, unleash adrenaline, sparking intense dreams or waking you in a sweat. High levels keep you restless, stirring up the mind. For seniors, this can steal the deep sleep needed to recharge. Vital when you're planning a day at the farmer's market or a call with the kids across state lines. In the US, where many older adults cherish their rest, whether it's for golf in Arizona or quilting in Vermont, this can dim the golden years. Think of George, a 70-year-old from Illinois. He'd wake from nightmares about losing his farm, blaming stress, until his wife noticed his shaky hands too. Diabetes was the real villain. For seniors, this isn't just spooky. It can signal lows that risk confusion or falls, a big deal in quiet retirement homes. Track it. Note when dreams hit and if you're sweaty or hungry. Keep a small snack by the bed, peanuts or a cracker, to steady sugar. If it's relentless, especially with a racing heart, your doctor can test. Many US pharmacies sell cheap glucose meters. Calming your nights keeps your days bright and busy.